Ay, caramba!
Oh. Greetings, Wanderer. This is Atlas here, and welcome to the Void. Today I'm going to be reacting and breaking down a song called either OST or Zero SK from Attack on Titan original soundtrack. This is the final coffee personal request that I had scheduled for this month, and this one comes from Marijoa, and the comment says Attack on Titan OST OSK or Zero SK by Hiroyuki Sawano. So thank you very much, Marijoa, for your request and of course your incredible support. Very straight to the point. I like it. So this is I think this is the fourth song that I'm gonna be covering from Attack on Titan, because I've previously I've done You See Big Girl, Attack on Titan, but WMID, but the you know, the characters are like weird, and Counterattack Mankind. Those I've covered those three so far. So I'm gonna leave You See Big Girl in this card right here, but I'm gonna leave You See Big Girl and the rest of them also in the description of this video in case you want to check those reactions / breakdowns. Okay. But before we begin, I would like to invite you to check my newest merch, which is inspired by BERSERK and Dark Souls. And also check my latest track, my newest song, which is also a BERSERK inspired song. And it's the song that you have been listening in the background of the intro of this video. So if you like what you hear so far and you would like to hear the full song, I'm gonna leave it in this card right here, but also I'm gonna leave it in the description of this video, okay? So with that being said, onward. All right, we're coming back to Attack on Titan. OSK or Zero SK. Boom. The percussion is killing it. It's going to explode. Anytime. Yeah, maybe a couple more measures. I like that arrangement in the brass. Okay. Silences. I love that. Another silence. Oh, I love the organ, alright. I like how the incremental style, you know, doing the leitmotif and adding instruments playing in unison. I got goosebumps out of that. Super brooding. That part built the tension so much. Great build up. It released the tension a little bit. Started to build it again. This song is really dark, and I really like that. Oh. This is so good. And there we have it. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. Did I say yes? Yes. This song was fantastic. It's probably it's a little bit hard to decide, but this is probably among my favorite Attack on Titan tracks that I've covered so far. It has very good arrangements that release the tension. Very specifically in the piano and the organ, you know, those very tamed sections of the composition that are trying to open a space for the composition to breathe, but also it's doing it's like releasing the tension from the previous part, but also building towards the next. I think those parts were like the best parts in my opinion. Well, we're going to be talking more in depth about those things in the breakdown, and also the very percussive nature that the first part of the composition has, that repeats later towards the end. Okay, so let's break it down. Okay, so I would like to start this particular breakdown by doing something risky. Okay, I'm going to say something that it's not very unorthodox to mention, but to me, it is the case, to be honest, because to me this track has two leitmotifs, and there's like the main one and there's a secondary one, and the reason I'm saying this is because I could identify this track by either one of those. The main one is like the legit one, of course, but the second one it could be, you know, thrown under the rug because it's not necessarily something that is done often as a leitmotif. But I'm going to explain myself. Okay, the main one is the one that we hear, you know, in the fair beginning of the song, which is in the string section, right? It's this sustained legato notes, and in the strings, it's like bam, ba-dum, ba-dum, bam, ba-dum, ba-dum, or something along those lines. You know, very dark. I'm not really sure, but I think it's done in the harmonic minor, you know, or the Phrygian mode or something like that. Something along those lines, because it sounds certainly very, very dark. And we have this the second leitmotif, quote unquote, which is basically how the song opens, which is this pedal note arrangement that there is in the strings. But you can also hear that repeating later with the piano, and then it's a part in the song where, you know, everything tames and you can hear it's basically like a transition in which you hear the piano playing the pedal note arrangement, and then you can hear the organ, you know, you hear incrementally more instruments playing the same thing as a unison. And the reason why I'm saying this is also a leitmotif is, like I said before, because I think you could remember the track by the main, very obvious leitmotif and that pedal note. Maybe, of course, to a less degree, because pedal note arrangements are not so often used as a main leitmotif. Okay, now I would like to talk about the percussive and non-percussive nature of the track. Okay, because I think roughly the first half of the track, it's very percussive. You hear a lot of accents, you know, in the low end, doing accents at the beginning of each measure, and it has variations of the percussion pattern along the track to mix it up, to not make it so monotone. But certainly the first half of the song is very percussive. But then, when the transition comes with the piano and it starts building up again, then the percussion is like stripped from it. You basically have like more or less the same arrangements that you heard before, apologies, but without the percussion. And this is very interesting because I think the composer what did was basically take the highest energy part of the song, which is the part with the percussion, and it's basically like the climax of the song, and he repurposed it as a build-up device, let's say, or as a resource to make a build-up, a longer build-up in the song. You can repurpose it for something else. So I think that was very, very cool. Okay, now let's talk about the silences. Okay, I think that I heard like 2 silences or 3 at the most, maybe. Yes, I will have to re-listen to the track again to be sure. But silences, there are silences. That's no questions asked. I've talked about silences, you know, several times before, but of course I'm going to talk about them again. Silences are a tool or a resource, in my opinion, that musicians have that can make or break a song. And in this case, I think the composer did a great job using them, apologies, because to me, in this particular song, from the silences that I remember, one is used in a very specific way, which I'm going to be talking in a brief moment, and another one is used mainly to make a transition happen, okay? I want to talk about the first one that I heard. I think that silence is doing two things at once. It's like a quantum element of music, because it's doing two things at the same time. It releases the tension from what you hear before, but also builds the tension tenfold at the same time. This silence comes when you have already a premise of what the song is. You know, you already heard a part of the song before it, so you're kind of getting the idea where the song is going. But when the silence hits, the silence, it's like giving you it's not giving you any kind of information, and therefore you are left wondering and inquiring what's going to happen next. So because the silence is basically a silence, it's nothing, it's playing, nothing is sounding, of course the energy of the song plummets completely, and there's no data, nothing to interpret by yourself. And the tension has like a drop, like a plunge, like an instant plunge, but at the same time it rises, it spikes tenfold, because the listener is just wondering what the hell is going to happen, right? So the silence, silences have many uses, but one of them, or one of the most interesting ones that I find, is that use, in which you have two things happening at the same time. And I don't, it's probably not, it's like a way of I use to describe them, like quantum, like a quantum element in the music, because it's doing two things at the same time. Now, lastly, but this, I think it's absolutely crucial that I mention it, is the piano. And I'm not saying that is crucial because piano is one of my favorite instruments in an orchestra or whatnot. I'm gonna try to be as objective as I can be. Okay, hear me out. I think the piano in this track is crucial because, first, the piano is the instrument that is making the song tamed, releasing the tension and the energy of the track, and gives the song a breather and space. Okay, it is actually the instrument that gives the song more space and air to breathe. But it's also the instrument that is telling that adds or is telling the most about the what's happening in this. The storytelling, in my opinion, is absolutely, for the most part, contained in the piano sections. Why do I say this? Well, I can't really make any inquiries about the theme within the anime, because the title of the song is very cryptic to an outsider. Of course, I think the title of the song might be very fan service, like only fans, only the fans, apologies, only the fans will know the meaning of that title, OSK or Zero OSK or whatever, SK, apologies. But certainly what's happening while this track is playing is something really bad. It's super dark, it's super maybe even gruesome, who knows. But certainly the storytelling of the track is mostly contained, in my opinion, in the piano, because you can hear that when the piano comes, it's it sounds like it's hidden. It's hidden somewhere. It's shrouded in darkness, very purposefully. And you can think of it like a character. You can think of it like even a character in the anime that is very mischievous, and it's hidden and it's trying to hide. You know, shrouded in darkness, very mysterious. Maybe doing some evil machinations towards what he's going to do next, or something like that. And that's what the piano is to me in this track. It's like this mysterious, conniving, mischievous character that is just hidden within the notes and the arrangements of the song. But that character is what is actually the pure essence. You know, it's the pure essence of what the track is. And actually, the piano being having that characteristics and having that reverb and that maybe that EQ mix that it has, that makes it have this characteristic of being buried in the background, just hidden, adds the most character in the song. The final thing that it's just a tiny little thing that I would like to mention is that maybe I think I hear a synthesizer path in the song. I'm not entirely sure. I recognize something along those lines when I was listening to the ending of to the resolution of the song, but also towards the parts where in the second half, maybe when you hear these very heavy bass sections in the lower end, I think there was like a synthesizer pad, because I hear kind of something digital in there. But I'm not entirely sure. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe that's just the regular orchestra bass, but it sounds like a little bit digital. Maybe on purpose. Who knows? Maybe there's like some sort of mixing done there that is actually gives it that quality of a little bit of a digital quality in there. You know, a little bit of that synthetic element in there, which I've heard before in other Attack on Titan songs, so it's not too far-fetched to think that it could be there, okay? So I think I'm gonna give this track a golden badge. I think it was a really good song, really enjoyed it. Like I said before, my favorite part certainly the silences and the piano. I mean, the nature of the piano is just so much. The storytelling within the piano it's brittle. It's effervescent. It's just there. And my crazy theory that there is two leitmotifs in the song with the pedal note section. Okay. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like and share it with your friend. Also, please don't forget to visit my Patreon, my Ko-fi profile, and my Ko-fi store in case you want to support my work further, and my Teespring merch shop. And of course, ex nihilo nihil fit.